Mabuhay! It's Lady Midori again for the second episode of ReDRAW with me. It's been a while since my last post. Sorry about that. I was busy focusing on finishing the comics I've started. I'm going to redraw on the previous drawing I made for the Aurelius. Actually, the old title is The Ring of Life, but I don't like it sounding to something famous, if you know what I mean. I'm only drawing the main character. I'll introduce the characters later on once the story progresses. Moving on, I rewatched my first video for ReDRAW with me, and it made me cringe. The script was so last minute. I'm just trying this out for the second time and I don't know if I can continue doing this content. I mean, I am trying to earn my fan base at the right platform, and I'm still looking for the place where I actually belong. Before the topic goes too far, let me introduce the main character. This is Raymond Howell, a 21-year-old prince of the southern kingdom of Midowan, Shilrid. He likes to sneak out of the palace during his breaks and walks around the kingdom as an ordinary citizen. By the way, I'm using clipstudiopaint since it's a free software when I purchased my Wacom tablet. I was supposed to download this when I purchased a new laptop, but up until now, I'm still saving up for it. My savings went to my daily expenses due to COVID, so I tried using clipstudiopaint and realized I could also use it for animation. I changed Raymond's position since his arms and hands were all over the place if you'd noticed in my old drawing. I was so lazy to practice guides before, so I'm using other images as practice if I could draw it myself. I still have a lot to learn in drawing composition, dynamics, and stuff of the sort, so I use a lot of references to challenge myself. You can see me joining Draw This in Your Style now and then in my IG. Raymond can be a jerk at times that the family sorcerer had to literally knock sense to him. I can't really say much about his personality as I might give spoilers to the story and I wouldn't want that to happen. The Aurelius is just one of my written stories waiting to be published as comics. The manuscript is piled up at home and I can barely follow where the story goes. Yes, it's a total mess since there were no page numbers. It was written in different inks of pen and pencil. You can imagine my head spinning as I reread everything else. I have to highlight the words I think I can use to the current story. My previous video was from Magical Memories. I think that's the first comic I made since high school. I wanted to publish all of them, but I have to be patient in finishing the story before making a draft for the drawing. Else, you might see me in hiatus more often if I don't do that. Going back with Raymond's design, I was having a hard time choosing the right clothes for everyone else since the setting was supposedly modern but in a fantasy world. I already made a character reference for him and I still had to do the supporting cast. Making the facial expressions challenged me, but I know this would be fruitful in the future. To be honest, I'm still working on the chapters for the story. I decided to start doing the draft for the prologue since one of my goals was to publish something this year. I've submitted this story to Animax before, but it was a draft, and I believe it needs room for improvement. Yes, I didn't make it, but that did not stop me from continuing this. I just find it frustrating when there's a contest and my works were just lying in here waiting to be published. When I found out that Webtoon was hosting a contest, I decided to join in. I made What Cannot Be Taken Back in a hurry, and I don't know how exactly the story turned out. For me, it was rushed since it was a short story. Yes, it only has to be 5 episodes. My mood switched when I realized I had to rewrite the whole story. I suck at writing short stories since I always make longer ones. The title and storyline changed again and again until the deadline was nearby that I had to start drawing. When I look back at it, I felt somehow accomplished but noticed a few mistakes here and there. So I kinda hope that it would help me draw better on my next ones. How about you? Did you ever enter a contest before? How did it go? Let me know in the comments below. So, do you want to know how many revisions I did for the Aurelius? I probably did 3 revisions on it. The second revision I did for it, I have to remove the fantasy theme. I had to change their names and the flow of the story. I made it a slice of life, since I can imagine other people comparing it to LOTR. I don't even remember what inspired me to do this story in the first place. I just wrote all of my ideas down non-stop until I got tired of writing. I chose to publish this first since among the stories I've written, this had a definite ending. Most of my stories doesn't have one. I only have the storyline in bullet form and then it's up to me to guess what happens next to the characters. Now I'm typing them at my laptop and making revisions. But then, on my third revision for this, I came back with a fantasy theme since the story wasn't making any sense. It made more sense when it was fantasy themed. I was limited when I made it a slice of life. Yes, you can obviously see my scraps of art and manuscripts that most of my works were fantasy related. I think the only one I did was Midori Feels, but I don't know if it counts as a slice of life since it's a 4 comma. I wanted to share information what the Aurelius really is, but I still have to revise some of its history and use, so I would have to keep changing the subject to somewhere safe and spoiler-free. Yes, I totally hate spoilers, but there are times that I can't avoid it. If you're following me in my art account or social media, you do know I'm a fan of Miraculous. Now that Season 4 is out, I'm having trouble avoiding the spoilers, since they're everywhere. I'm an anime fan as well, and I hate it when people share on social media what happens to who or what. I'm not on social media most of the time, it's just that I scroll down when I'm on a break. Yay! You made it till the end! It's either you skipped or you finished the whole video. Congratulations! First, my Draw This In Your Style is still ongoing, so be sure to check it out. And draw my OC, Lady Midori, as a Pokemon trainer. Another is my first Miraculous fan comic entitled Miraculous Academy, available for early access on my Patreon. Thank you for staying till the end. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click the thumbs up and subscribe button for more ReDRAW with me sessions or if you want to support my art. Take care!